I had the pleasure of working pretty much with every prime minister of Israel, from Yitzhak Shamir forward. I said to myself, wouldn't it be fantastic if I could own the Twin Towers? We got very, very lucky. The governor of New York, George Pataki, decided one day that maybe it would be good to privatize the ownership of the World Trade Center. So I got a call from the governor's office, and they said, would you ever consider owning the World Trade Center? It was very, very good for the family, very good for us, and we were very, very fortunate. On the morning of 9/11, I'm getting ready, getting dressed to go to the dermatologist. I have light-colored hair, light skin. The sun is a disaster for me. I can't take the sun. She said, okay, but you're going to the dermatologist, you're going this morning, and you're not going downtown. We got very, very lucky. And I had an obligation to collect the insurance proceeds from the policies. A new governor was just elected, Elliot Spitzer, an old friend who I knew well. And I said, Elliot, if you don't help me, I'll never collect from the insurance companies. And guess what? He listened, and he said, you know what? You're entitled. I'm going to get you the money. And in 6 months, he got me the $4.5 billion. We got very, very lucky. The $4.5 billion. We got very, very lucky.
The Zionist Jewish owners of the World Trade Center and their connections to Israel as well, and their intimate connections with the upper echelons of the Israeli establishment. We have Larry Silverstein, who mysteriously just decided to purchase a 99-year lease on the World Trade Center 4 or 5 weeks before the attacks, taking out a massive insurance policy. And wasn't he personal friends with Benjamin Netanyahu?
Yes, very, very close, actually. He was Benjamin Netanyahu and Larry Silverstein would speak on the phone every Sunday afternoon, regardless of where they were in the world. Every Sunday afternoon at a certain time, Netanyahu and Silverstein would have a conference on the telephone. And this was all done. This is all part of the pre-planning, getting the ducks in a row, getting the stage set.
And also, what should be mentioned is that Silverstein allegedly skipped a business meeting, a routine business meeting on 9/11, and miraculously survived, and as did his 2 children who also worked in the Trade Center. None of them showed up for work on 9/11. Quite a coincidence.
So I wrote a book in 1995, and I said that if the West doesn't wake up to the suicidal nature of militant Islam, the next thing you'll see is the militant Islam is bringing down the World Trade Center. Next thing you'll see is the militant Islam is bringing down the World Trade Center.
In his 2000 book, The America We Deserve, Trump wrote, I really am convinced we're in danger of the sort of terrorist attacks that will make the bombing of the 1993 Trade Center look like little kids playing with firecrackers. Trump also mentioned the mastermind of the attack, writing, quote, one day we're told that a shadowy figure with no fixed address named Osama bin Laden is public enemy #1, and U.S. jet fighters lay waste to his camp in Afghanistan. He escapes back under some rock, and a few news cycles later, it's on to a new enemy and a new crisis.
The alliance between Israel and America has always been extremely strong. It's about to get even stronger. President Trump and I see eye to eye on the dangers emanating from the region, but also on the opportunities.
I remember getting a call from the fire department commander telling me that they were not sure they were going to be able to contain the fire. And I said, you know, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
I see what's happening down there. It's a mess. And the developer is actually a friend of mine, but he didn't want to build this building either. If you look back at the records, I mean, when it was first foisted upon him, Larry Silverstein is a great guy. He's a good guy. He's a friend of mine.
Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly said the September 11th attacks have been good for Israel. Netanyahu said, quote, "We're benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers and Pentagon and the American struggle in Iraq."